SaaS founders, how exactly do you cut the risk to getting your first 100 users? Give me the next 5 minutes and I will walk you through the process to get your first 100 users while cutting the risk using the massive feedback method. And I will show you how to avoid the pitfalls in getting your first 100 users and validating that there's a market demand for your product. We're gonna go over the top failure modes when you are trying to get your first 100 users with paid acquisition. So if you wanna drive traffic and start to really accelerate growth, or let's say you're a bootstrap founder and you're saying, you know what, I know I need to talk to users. How do I get a hold of these users? And you wanna talk to a volume of users, you can actually solve that really easily with paid acquisition. It doesn't have to be a big investment to make that happen. Typically, you can start to make a call funnel to start bootstrapping and getting customer acquisition and customer phone calls for about $3,000 to $5,000 in ad spend. It's like a month to 3 months of work, depending on how much effort you can put forward. That's what it takes. Now, there's a lot of things that could completely kill your results and invalidate your tests, and I'm gonna cover those right now. So in order to get users or to get conversations with users, you need 3 basic assets. You need traffic, you need something that's driving traffic, you need a lander, and you need an offer. You need traffic, a lander, and an offer. And the best way to go about this is to take an extremely systematic approach. That way you'll actually learn something about your business. You'll learn something about your users, your customers, how to position your product along the way so that none of these tests are just wasted, random testing like most people do. A lot of engineers can solve problems with brute force, but taking a systematic approach speeds you up. So what are the different ways to get traffic? Well, organic traffic is great because it's warm. Problem is if you have a new app, a new offer, you have to build up that audience that would find that offer and application relevant, right? So this takes like 6 to 18 months to build up an audience for a specific niche. That's a really long time and it's very difficult to make sense of the signals with organic. That's why paid is such an enormous advantage because you can do it today. Today you can get results by putting your message in front of hundreds of people, thousands of people for very little money, and you can see how do they respond. So traffic is number 1, and you really want to know that you are hitting the correct pain point, that your creative is scroll stopping. And even though your offer is number 3, you actually already need to know if your offer makes any sense. And so I would answer all of these with 24-hour tests, going for $3 an idea, 24-hour test. That's how I would answer all of these questions. But things that can kill your traffic are going too slow with organic, and then if you use paid traffic, not isolating and understanding that you've proven out that that's the right pain point, that you've proven out that this is the right offer, and that you've proven that that creative performs well. If any one of those things are off, you're going to get the wrong kind of traffic. Now for your lander, web average is like 2%. My landing pages do 20% or higher, and there's a systematic approach that can get you there. So before you can see if your landing page is testing your offer, it has to be a really good landing page first. So what you're doing is you're going to systematically drive traffic and drive cheap traffic, and you're going to start to find all the friction points on the lander. What causes people to bounce on the lander? You can do that if you put the right software and instrument on your lander, and then start iterating, replacing those items until you get higher opt-ins. And because you've already tested your offer, if the lander goes to an offer or an upsell or a funnel, you already know that it makes sense.